let's head to the papers now to review the top stories this morning. Now, we begin with the leadership, and it's leading with reconciliation moves in the main opposition party, the PDP. Now it says Wike hits PDP again, says party towing path of failure. That's on the leadership. Next is the Nation. And still on the forthcoming general election, saying there's quiet in the PDP as Obi meets Wike or Tom others. Party on self-destructive path, says Rivers Governor. IU must go. Still on lingering arguments here and there regarding whether the national chairman of the PDP should leave. To the Daily Sun now, PDP considers role for Wike in Atiku's campaign. Riders there saying, as Rivers Governor's camp soft pedals on IU, no party fighting itself can win election, says Wike. Next is the Punch. PDP crisis is still dominating the headlines so far. Atiku Wike's men hold peace talks on Friday. A party that wants to win election cannot be involved in infighting, says the Rivers State Governor. Atiku's camp wants meeting to hold in Abuja. Fintiri leads delegation. That's according to sources. And finally, if I were Atiku, I would take next flight to Port Harcourt and close this chapter. This is from Mazi Sam Oabunwa. Now, Nigerian News Direct is next. Quickly now. Okay, change of headline we see there. Proposed blackout. Federal government suspends promotion interview. Silent on XPHC and staff benefits. And an analyst there saying any power disruption will have dire consequences on already fragile economy. Finally, with me is First News. Nationwide blackout looms as electricity workers down tools today. Battle TCN over pending issues to stop operations on Wednesday this week. Ensure total compliance. Union urges workers. Veronica.
All right, and still talking about the indefinite strike over labor issues, this Nigeria says nationwide blackout looms. Aggrieved electricity workers threaten to shut down power stations. You find the details on the pages of this Nigerian newspaper. All right, we move now to the front page of the Vanguard. Adamu says federal government can borrow till eternity. It will lead to disaster. NECA, Atiku, LP, others reacting to that statement. Loans are source of infrastructure, APC chair speaking. There are alternatives to borrowing. NECA disagrees. Reckless, endless borrowing lead to disaster. Atiku speaking there shows how myopic the ruling party is. Labour Party also reacting. Why borrowing till eternity is dangerous to economy. Experts speaking there. And if you look further down the paper, you see a photo of the governor Nyesom Wike of Rivers State, as well as a presidential candidate of the Labour Party, posing with some other stakeholders in the picture there on the front page of the Vanguard newspaper. We move quickly now to the Guardian. Wealthy Nigerians, middle class, youth in a web of naira shorting. A country at risk of all-time high money laundering. Request for dollar-denominated accounts spikes. Fund managers feast on desperation for dollar assets. Outlawed domiciliary accounts go after black money. Details of all of that on the pages of the Guardian newspaper. To this day now, Usman, how Dambazao resisted pressure to topple Jonathan, says he made a promise to international community he wouldn't. Ex-army chief proposes drastic reform of entire security sector, declares size of military, police inadequate for Nigeria's population. Buni cautions against hate speech, says nation's interest uppermost. And to Business Day now, inflation erodes stock returns amid rate hikes. All of the details on the pages of the Business Day. To Daily Trust, no respite for operators as aviation fuel hits 903 naira. Nigerians shun air travel over high cost of tickets. Lagos Abuja return flight now 200,000 naira. Abuja to Kano 160,000 naira. Experts predict higher fares. Airlines cut flight. to the Daily Times now. Nigeria will save 2 trillion naira from malaria elimination. The president speaking there. To the front page of the Nigerian Tribune, manufacturers list 10 ways to revive, stabilize the economy. All of the details on the pages of the Nigerian Tribune. Kemi.
Wow, so much to feed on, looking at the papers. Of course, today is Wednesday. That's the day electricity workers have threatened to begin an indefinite strike over welfare issues. Of course, some of their demands also affect the welfare of ex or former workers of the Transmission Company of Nigeria. And according to their leaders, there will be no going back, and it's expecting full compliance today. Of course, this amidst what people have rightly called an already fragile economy.
Terrible, terrible. It's not going to be a problem of ASU alone. It's going to be a problem of darkness. I know what darkness means. Darkness also means a pressure on the economy. People have to feed, people have to move around, people have to work. And you can imagine when there is total blackout. It's an economic blackout. It is also open system for crime. It's everything. It's a shutdown. In fact, it is not only a physical situation. It's also a metaphoric situation, because you have the darkness, which is literal, and then you have the darkness, which is metaphoric. So there's darkness in the economy, darkness in politics, darkness in schools, darkness at home, darkness in our lives, darkness spiritually.
And well, another paper is saying that part of the contentions for the will I call them striking workers now, because they initially said they will begin the strike from 12 midnight of today. This is about 6 or 7 hours after. Well, we understand that the federal government has suspended the controversial interview process
for some persons that were occupying some positions in the acting appointment of the AGM, that's the acting general managers and general managers, which was suspended. And they say this is in contravention of the workers' condition of service and career progression. That is what they are also challenging with regards to this strike. And there was an agreement in 2019 that they had with regards to the payment of entitlements of the ex-PHCN workers, which the government, according to them, has not, there hasn't been any positive position coming from the government with regards to that now. And that is what they are also challenging. And Kemi, you know that this same issue was what they challenged in 2019. They went on strike. And at that time, we lost about 4 billion naira, according to experts. Then, I wonder what it's going to be now if they embark on this strike. Again, why is government not acting on its agreement? If you negotiated with certain persons, why is it difficult to fulfill? 2019, that's about 3 years down the line now. Why is it so difficult? You put pen to paper to say we are going to do this. What is wrong with we not meeting up with what we agreed on?
And it's still the same government, because perhaps they could say that maybe transfer from one previous administration to the other. It's still the same Buhari administration.
Government is a continuum.
And it is the continuum, another argument there. So, well, of course, not forgetting the plight of pensioners. That is also part of the conversation and part of the contentions between both sides. We hope that today
it's problem upon problem.
Problem upon problem.
And they say they are broke. Government is broke. Some states have not paid salaries in a few months. Some have not paid for several months.
Absolutely.
We don't. The situation is very ominous. It's very ominous.
And even the line you brought out now about 2019 is also the year that ASU is also holding government on. You also failed to honor those agreements.
Fine. And now, how do Nigerians who are also struggling, when you talk about the price of fuel, it's a lot challenging now.
Even the doctors are also complaining. They are planning to go on strike as well. So we have it's a besieged government.
Unfortunately.